disappearance cases, without any clear reason, are among the strangest events happening all around the world. In the United States alone, more than 500,000 people go missing every single year. Sadly, only a very small number of these cases ever get solved. Only then do the reasons behind them become clear. But on the other hand, there are cases that get solved many years later. And the strange part? They solve themselves. Welcome everyone. But before we start, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell icon, so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. On November 8, 1997, William Moult, 40 years old at the time, disappeared without any reason. That day, he was sitting in a bar having a drink. Then, while heading home, he called his girlfriend. He told her, "Just 20 minutes, and I'll be home." But those 20 minutes turned into 20 full years. Before the incident, William's life was stable. He had no enemies. Even drinking wasn't something he did regularly. That's why his disappearance didn't make sense. But the strangest part? William was found after 20 years completely by chance. Thanks to Google Earth. A construction project manager was checking his site on Google Earth when he noticed a strange white object in a lake. That lake had once been big, but parts of it had been drained to build residential units. When the manager went to investigate, he discovered it was a submerged car. Inside, they found a skeleton still in its clothes, sitting in the driver's seat. After reviewing the papers in the pockets and analyzing the body, it was confirmed. This was William Moult, missing for 20 years. The conclusion? William lost focus while driving that night and ended up at the bottom of the lake. If that project hadn't drained the lake, William would never have been found. Lucy Johnson was born in 1935 in Yukon, Canada. In 1954, she moved to Surrey after marrying Marvin Johnson. The marriage lasted 7 years, during which they had 2 children, Linda and Daniel. But over time, Marvin's behavior changed. He continuously mistreated Lucy, and after many problems, she suddenly disappeared. Naturally, Marvin was the prime suspect. Suspicion grew stronger because he didn't even report her missing. It was the neighbors who called the police. Everything pointed to a criminal case, that Marvin had done something. But when investigators began their work, they found no evidence. The case went cold, and years passed, 52 of them. During that time, Marvin died. Then Daniel. Only Linda remained. Years later, Canadian TV aired a reality program about disappearance cases. Linda sent her mother's story, name, birth date, photo, and details. On July 2, 2013, the episode went on air. Somewhere else, a woman named Rhonda was watching. When Lucy's case came up, she was shocked, because Lucy was her own mother. Yes, Lucy Johnson, missing for 52 years. Mother of Linda, was also Rhonda's mother. Lucy later explained that life with Marvin was impossible. She had threatened to leave many times, but he never cared. She asked to take the kids, but of course he refused. So Lucy returned to Yukon, lived alone, remarried, and eventually had 4 more children, including Rhonda. On July 11, 1979, the disappearance of a man named Arthur Jones was reported. Arthur was a realtor from Chicago, a father of 3, but he was addicted to gambling. He owed money to everyone, including dangerous people. When Arthur disappeared, most believed one of them had killed him, but as time passed, no evidence was found. He was officially declared dead in 1986. Years went by, until 2011. 32 years after his disappearance, a man named Joseph Richard was arrested in Las Vegas on fraud charges. His documents were all forged. Under questioning, it was revealed Joseph Richard was actually Arthur Jones. Before disappearing, Arthur had prepared new documents ready to leave his old life. But what he couldn't leave behind was his gambling addiction. When he was arrested at 72 years old, he had wasted his entire life, his money, and his family, all because of gambling. After World War II ended and Japan surrendered, many soldiers on scattered islands refused to accept it. Some hadn't even received the news. Soldier Ishinasuke Iwanyama was one of them. He was stationed on Sakhalin Island in the Pacific. When he heard about Japan's surrender, he was furious. He refused to return. Instead, he went to Ukraine, started a new life, and built a family. Years passed, until he was 83, feeling the end was near. Nostalgia grew stronger. He went to the Japanese embassy, told his story, and requested new documents. He said he didn't want rights or benefits, only to visit his parents' graves to say goodbye. He added that he didn't want to live in Japan again. His whole life was now in Ukraine, family, children, grandchildren. And so, his disappearance case from 60 years earlier was finally solved. Memory loss, Alzheimer's. Patients lose focus, repeat phrases, forget names. But it doesn't mean a complete loss of identity like in the movies. But was that the case for Lawrence Bader? Or did he take inspiration from movies and expose himself? In 1957, Lawrence went on a fishing trip. That day, a powerful storm hit. When he didn't return, everyone assumed he had drowned, and that remained the story for 8 years. One day, his niece Susan saw him in Chicago. She ran up to him, "Uncle Lawrence." But the man replied, "Lawrence who? My name is John." Susan didn't let go. She took him straight to the police. Fingerprints confirmed it. He was Lawrence, missing for 8 years. Many thought he was faking, but psychiatrists confirmed otherwise. They diagnosed him with dissociative amnesia, a rare condition where trauma makes the patient create a completely new personality with new memories. And after 8 years, purely by coincidence on a city street, one more disappearance case was solved. And that's the end of this episode. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for the next one.